Okay, so we got the 323 up and running with no issue. It was the CCV is bad, the brand new one. You know, I really don't know. I mean, it's just a system that never did work. If it did work for a little bit, it wouldn't work for very long. A lot of guys, the factory run will last a while. They'll replace it. They'll spend a lot of time pulling the intake manifold back off and back on, trying to chase a good one in there. Even if you get a good one, it doesn't really pull enough vacuum on the crankcase, and it'll cause it to blow stuff out. It's just not a system that they perfected through these years on the M52tu or the M54. Okay, so how it's sitting right now, need to put that, but not yet. We gotta take the shroud off to look at everything first. How it's sitting right now is the CCV is still in place. I just capped off the vacuum going to it, the big line. The fuel pressure regulator line that goes to the fuel rail is still going to it. We'll have to chase that around the back of the intake and plug it one of the little small ports in the back of there, so the pressure regulator could vary at the pressure. It seems like really that doesn't really make much difference on these. The car is not really that particular about it. So let me see here. I'll need to call the guy who wants to buy it. It needs to have a catch can put on it. It's just to the point. Ooh, somebody's put a new valve cover gasket on it. I'm not particularly interested in taking it off and on, off and on, off and on, off and on, trying to make something work. Guys are changing the springs in the brand new CCV or clipping some off of them, trying to make them tighter. I'm not interested in none of that. So we'll do that. We're gonna go and pull the fan shroud out. We need to look at the belts and just kind of check the state of things. Let's see, other than that, it has a light on for that corner bulb. So we'll probably have to fiddle with the socket on that. May have to replace the socket. I think it has some of the sockets here. Or it could just be a bulb out. You never know what you're gonna find. This thing is gonna have to have rear tires. They're totally roached. Maybe we'll deliver this thing tomorrow. I haven't driven it that far. I don't want to drive it very far with those tires like that. We have our all-do jump pack hooked to it. That battery, it's just like every other BMW we get in here. The battery's like kind of okay, maybe a little bit, but never really okay to set more than a day or two without being dead. That's the state of that. We've been using the Walmart batteries. They're $48 with tax. You take your old one in, it's like $51 or $52 out the door price. We use the hell out of those. We never have an issue with those. We're gonna do that in here. And I think other than that, we're ready to snap the cowling back in and tidy all this up back here. We didn't want to put that in to the very end. We got some bolts there we need. We only have one bolt in each coil pack. We wouldn't put the rest of those in there. And just kind of reassemble everything. The air filter is dirty. The K&N filter actually is a K&N. As funny as that is. And it has a hard pipe that goes down to the throttle body, which is quite a big upgrade, I have to say so myself. That needs to be cleaned. I don't know if I have any of that cleaner here or not. We'll just have to see how this works out. Our good friend John's wanting this car really bad. If he wants to buy it at this point, that's fine. If he doesn't, that's fine too, to be honest with you. You know, we'll keep it around and drive it for a little bit, work all the kinks out, or I'm sure there's people that will buy this the price we're going to ask for it. So no pressure on John either way. I mean, either way, not going to hurt my feelings, so it is what that is. And as far as we know, we have no coolant leaks. We have no oil leakage anywhere. If we leave the CCV like it is right, I feel like I'm talking on and on and on. If we leave the CCV the way it is, hooked still to the CCV where it drips from the valve cover, drips in the dipstick tube and drips down to the oil pan, that'll work, but the car will stink. When you come to the stoplight, it'll smell oily. So I don't like doing that either, because that dipstick tube where you push it in has like little vents. If they get stopped up, which this one was when I took it out, that'll back up and probably push your seals up. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it here. The only catch came, so we'll have to look at that and see. We'll pull the oil filter out and make sure there's no debris in that. Just kind of look at everything. The fan does work. That's all brand new. I don't know why. That's kind of scary. But it does start to run now with no misfire, no codes, no ABS light. I know, right? That's rare. And we need to scan that SRS airbag light. Maybe we'll just go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so the airbag light is the front driver's side belt tensioner. So that'd be, what was it, up here where it bolts into the B pillar. There's like a little, where it rolls up, there's a sensor in there and it has a wire going to it. So either that's unplugged or something's wrong with that mechanism. That's pretty common. That's probably definitely a junkyard part or a $20 eBay part for that. Yeah, so the headlight bulb on this front passenger corner light, you can see what they do. These are bad about doing that crap. They'll like melt the end off the bulb, and then the socket will be kind of charred on the inside where the little prongs at. Sometimes you can fix these. Oh, I thought it was broke, but it's not. I got some more of these bulbs here, but I don't have any amber color bulbs here. This thing probably needs a new socket. I mean, I could take a file and hit that down, bend that tab up. Maybe it'll work for a little while, but eventually it's got to need a new socket, a new bulb. That's super common on E46. Okay, so just took a razor knife and just kind of whittled down the end of that bulb, made it all round and nice and flat again, and bent the prong up, and it does work. You can see it's amber colored. It's like somebody didn't worry about the amber bulb on the other side. It's just a white bulb on that one. So probably when it goes past inspection, they're not going to be okay with a white bulb on that side. So yeah, it needs like $10 worth of stuff. 2 new legitimate bulbs or even LED, and then 2 sockets that are going to stay working. I have sockets in the other E46. They're just as bad as these. It's such a common issue. So I guess let's turn this thing off. We need to check all the fluids in it again, and I'll pull this shroud off and see what the situation is in there. Okay, so I got the fan shroud out. The fan clutch is new. It is from China. The fan shroud is new. It is possibly from China also. That doesn't matter though. That's cool. Let's see things. You could buy that stuff from China. It's not going to hurt anything. We have a wall. Let me see here if I can even see it. Waller thermostat looks to be pretty new. We have a AutoZone or O'Reilly's lower radiator hose. I can tell by the clamps on it. We have the OEM top radiator hose, which is newer. Have two brand new belts on it. I say new, I mean within the last probably 6 months, 8 months, just by the looks of them. The upper idler pulley is not new. The tensioner pulley is not new. And the tensioner for the AC is also not new, but they all seem like they're okay. A lot of times without taking the belt off, you can grab them, wiggle them, there's no play in none of them. They all sound good, they all work good. And they look to be, as far as I can tell, not China. If that says anything, I really don't know. The Vanos, I would say nobody's rebuilt that just by kind of the looks of it. The hose on here doesn't feel too bad. It's got some age on it. Not split on the bottom, not leaking. Ever so slightly, a little squishy. And that's pretty much it. It's like mostly empty, and that is Chevy power steering fluid. So we'll fix that for John real quick. We'll drain that and put the transmission fluid like it's supposed to have in it. If you don't, that'll make it leak everywhere. Don't put Chevy transmission fluid in the BMW. Things will not end up well for you or for your rack and pinion. The Dista was good. Everything else. The valve cover would have had been replaced. It would be barfing all down the side of it. No way it'd be this old with 189,000 miles on it and it not be cracked. 99.9% of these plastic ones are cracked if they haven't been replaced. I don't see, without pulling it all apart, I probably can't see any kind of name brand on it. I don't remember on these. It is factory. I mean, it is an OEM cover. It does look really new. Look how clean that is, all down the bottom of the coil packs. It looks like somebody's put on there within the last year or so. So, I don't know. I mean, looks like they spent 300 and I don't know what these are, around 300 bucks, give or take. I think they're a little north of that. A couple of you guys from St. Louis were writing me last year on some E46s. This could be one of those cars. If this is your car, write me and let me know. I think it came from O'Fallon, Missouri, which is like northwest St. Louis. So if you guys know this car, let me know in the comments. Okay, so before we put that car back together here in a couple of minutes, here is everything we got yesterday at Lowe's and at the metal supplier. I threw some plywood and a piece of carpeting on top of that wood to keep the sun off of it. We're gonna have to get this on here the next day or two. My cousin at Helsing's been sick, and I don't know what his schedule's like the next day or two, but all the metal, it all has plastic on it. It's actually black. So we're gonna have a black roof. This is only the metal for the roof, and this is the wood for the whole lean-to for the roof and the walls. The budget wasn't big enough this month to buy the metal for the sides. It's gonna take probably another $600–700 to buy that, and I need to find also a new energy efficient window and door to install in there. So that's pretty much all that. It is really some nice quality stuff, and hopefully we didn't ding any of it hauling it home. So that is it, guys. We got the sun just a little bit. So tomorrow is Friday. Today's Thanksgiving. We're gonna try to drop that car off tomorrow if everything's still good with John for that, and if not, it's not that big of a deal. It would be nice to have some extra money right now to throw at the shop so I could buy the metal for the sides, but we're gonna go at that at a slow pace because I have to have time to install everything we already have and then go and do that. So as far as the shop to the front, the 40x45, my cousin's wanting to start on that right away on the dirt work. That's all going to depend on the weather. Right now the weather for the next 10 days is sunny and high 50s, low 60s. It looks pretty nice. If it holds like that for a few more weeks, we're going to keep going as far as we can, as far as budget allows and as far as time allows to do that. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching today's video, and you have a good day.